Okay, welcome. This is the Village of Southampton Planning Board combination work session public meeting Tuesday, January 3rd. Please take a minute to silence your cell phones. With our new system, if you are speaking, please come up to the center of the table here. We have microphones here, and we have cameras that can view whatever you put on the table. Our first item is extensions. The OIA Associates.
Do you want to take Latch out of order?
Oh, okay. You want to do that first? Okay, sorry. We'll skip to Beechwood Latch. Mr. Cleary.
This is an administrative task that's being asked of you this evening. In July, your board paused this application for 24 units, condominium units at the Village Latch site, requiring the applicant to prepare an environmental impact statement. You held a scoping session on this document in August. The applicant prepared the environmental impact statement based on that scoping session. It was reviewed for what we call completeness, meaning that all the studies required in the scoping document were in fact incorporated into the document. You saw a review of that. There were a number of changes requested. Those changes have been made to the DEIS, and we are recommending that your board accept the document as complete this evening. And what that simply means is that you're beginning the public review process. So the action tonight is before you, and you have a resolution to the effect is accepting the DEIS as complete, and in fact scheduling a public hearing. And as I understand it, your February meeting now is February 13th. So there's a minor change in the resolution if you choose to adopt it this evening.
Patrick,
yes, sir.
sorry, Steve. There was discussion this morning amongst myself, the building inspector, and staff as to whether or not to have that meeting adjourned for 1 week to the middle of the month or adjourn the meeting to March. There was no specific resolution on that as of today. Part of it has to do with notices, Charlie's availability. It was sort of, I guess, some kind of informal communications amongst members that people were available at that time, but we haven't had any specific consensus as to whether to adjourn it to that or kick it over to the entire March meeting. Patrick, my conservative approach to it would be to say to kick it over to the March meeting.
Okay.
Sorry for the delayed anyone, but we've got interruptions of people's schedules for the next month or so, and
So that would
struggling to
be,
get quorums on the dates that were normally scheduled.
so that would be February 28th.
No, yeah, the work session, right.
27th, excuse me, February 27th as the work session, and March 6th.
There are Bo's sense of being conservative is important. Not only are the local public hearing requirements required for this, but also seeker's public hearing requirements needs to be published in the environmental notice bulletin. So we have to make sure we don't mess that up. So I think
We're in a
caution
position
is to-
tonight to vote acceptance, to resolve the acceptance issue, but then schedule the first hearing, Patrick, then for March 6th.
Should we vote first to change the meeting to March 6th before we schedule the meeting for March 6th?
Don't need to necessarily, but just in the resolution now, state that it's adjourned to March 6th. We can handle the order of meetings at the end of this meeting.
All right. Do I have a motion to accept as complete the DEIS for the Village Latch at 101, 109 Hill Street? Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. And we are adjourning that, or scheduling the public hearing for March 6th which is an adjournment from the original February 6th meeting.
What's the date?
So can I have a motion for that as well?
What's your date?
Yes?
What's your date?
It's March 6th. We're going to adjourn it to March 6th, because we're not going to have a February meeting.
Did you say 4, 6?
No, March 6th. So we have a motion. Do you second it?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Thanks.
Okay. Back on the regular agenda, we have a letter from the owner on the OIA Associates requesting an adjournment to the February meeting, which will now make the March meeting. Do I have a motion on that?
Steve, what is the request? Is it, I don't know what
This
still going
is,
on. Is it the payment of the bond, or the payment of the park fee?
The recording of covenants on this one, I believe.
recording of
Okay,
covenants.
very good.
So we're going to no meeting in February?
No. No. Work session last Monday, February. So do I have a motion to approve the request of the applicant for an extension to comply with the conditions of the subdivision approval?
Yes.
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next is another extension request for Harkonnen and Atreides, 408 First Neck Lane. Applicant is requesting an extension to comply with the conditions of the subdivision approval, and we'll request that to the March 6th meeting also. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's it with extensions. The first public hearing is the 550, 554 Hill Street. Kathy, we have
We're, at this point,
submissions under review.
we have I guess it's a Part 3 expanded EAF that is under review by council at this point. And once that is approved for circulation, then we can move ahead.
Okay.
Based upon the,
Yes, Bob?
based upon the fact that there are only 3 members here tonight, we're adjourning the February meeting to March. Therefore, this should be adjourned to March.
So do I have a motion at the request of the applicant to adjourn for all purposes, all purposes, or
All purposes.
okay, the application of 550, 554 Hill Street?
Yes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
March 6th. So you can have February in Florida, but you got to come back. Okay. Then we have the 191 George Benedict, 191 Bishop's Lane.
For the applicant, David Gilmartin Jr., file Fritz, 50 Station Road, Building Number 1, Watermill, New York. It's an application for sketch plan approval for a 2-lot subdivision. Property, if you remember, it's the old Duberman Animal Hospital. It has a certificate of occupancy, which I'll hand up, that allows for an animal hospital, dog kennels, has several dog runs, a 1-story caretaker's cottage, and a 1-story single-family dwelling. And those are all indicated on the map.
You can lay it flat on the table.
You can see it?
Yeah, well, Charlie can see it with them.
Okay, so we have the single-story house here, caretaker's cottage in the back, so there's already 2 residential dwellings, and then this is where the animal hospital and office were. Property is located in R20 zoning district. The lots are 29,989, that's lot number 1. Lot number 2 is 29,908 square feet, so it meets zoning. The only issue we ran into was lot width. Both of them fall short as the subdivision is proposed. We've made an application to the zoning board. That went well. We anticipate getting a positive decision from them in their January meeting. All of the structures that are on the property will be removed as part of the subdivision, and it will be developed as 2 residential lots. No other variances are necessary other than the lot width variance. Tonight, we're asking you for a neg deck under seeker so we can proceed through the ZBA. This is sketch plan approval. We'll then go to the health department and come back to preliminary, which we hope you will combine that with a final approval for the subdivision. It's only 2 lots. And I can answer any questions that you have.
I don't have any now. Yeah. Anyone from the public like to speak?
Yes, this is not directly, I'm Jim Sanford, and with my wife Lynn and my sister Sally Johnson, we own the property on 120 McGee Street, which is immediately south and west of Bishop's Pond Development. The proposal here has really nothing to do with our property. It's a block away, but I just wanted to bring up a couple of issues we've had over the last 3 years, really, with Mr. Benedict and his development. And this is...
I'm not sure that that's appropriate.
Well, if there
I could talk
are
to
any
you.
neighbors here, I think they ought to hear about a couple of things that have happened.
But that's not on this project. You're talking about Bishop's Pond, which I'm happy to talk to you after the meeting, but if the evidence doesn't have anything to do with the present application, I don't know that it's really applicable.
I'll let people rule on that.
Mr. Robinson?
Is it relevant to the development of this?
The only reason it would be relevant is that there are some issues that were not followed through on by Mr. Benedict in the earlier development. And I just want to alert
Of
people...
Bishop Pond?
Of Bishop's Pond.
Well, are you,
And so I just wanted to alert people that, how do I want to put this judiciously? Make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and all that before allowing the development to go forward. I can go on or not.
well, what I would suggest is, this is a vote at the moment for a negative declaration of a secret.
Okay.
Which is largely environmentally issued and not really germane to, relevant or material to the development of the project. Could we ask then, on behalf of the board, that you put your concerns in writing?
Okay. And again, they don't have anything to do with this particular...
Well, just put them in writing so
right.
that the board can, and myself can take a look at what those are.
All right.
And then if you would monitor and send a letter to Mr. Gilmartin's office, a letter to the
Okay.
board with your concerns or your issues, and then monitor this, and at the next phase of this, you will then evaluate your concerns and give you a decision as to whether or not to speak publicly to them or not.
Okay.
So we don't want to preclude you this evening from saying something, but
I
Mr.
understand.
Gilmartin does have a fairly valid point. So let's take a look and see what you are concerned about, and
right.
let's move it.
I'll
That
do
way,
that.
everybody has notice, and we've all had a chance to understand
So I
this.
send it to Mr. Gilmartin, copy to the board?
Send it to the board, to the planning board, 23 Main Street,
Okay.
and provide 6 copies, and send a copy separately then to Mr. Gilmartin's office.
Okay.
You're
Thank you.
certainly welcome to talk with him at any time prior to that to address any issues you've got.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else to speak on the 191 Bishop's Lane? Okay. Kathy?
Well, we have reviewed the short EAF that was prepared for this and found it to be adequate, and prepared a Part 2 impact assessment for which no or minimal impacts were identified, and therefore it's appropriate to adopt a negative declaration for this project. So,
Do I have a motion to adopt a negative declaration on the 191 Bishop's Lane. So moved, seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Okay. I'll give this to you to sign when we're done.
Okay,
Is that right? I'll send it to you tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you. And thanks for your time. We will follow up on your
Yeah,
letter.
that's fine, thank you.
Thank you.
You close the public hearing? Close the public hearing?
Yes.
Steve, you can go ahead and ask to close the public hearing.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing on the 191 Bishop's Lane?
Sorry, excuse me. Kathy,
Yeah,
close the public hearing
on the sketch plan.
sketch plan. No, let's keep it open because of Mr. Sands.
Until after we get the
Okay.
letter? Okay, then.
Okay.
We'll keep it open. Okay, we did Beechwood Latch. We have a pre-submission conference for 1616 Realty Company, which is 15 Hill Street.
I have small copies.
Is this in addition to what?
No, they're just
Submitted?
smaller copies, so it's
Okay.
easier to see. Um, 15 Hill Street is a fairly a large store, and during the years, and the owner found it fairly hard to rent it as it is. And I have some pictures of the inside and outside if you are unfamiliar with it.
Are we talking about the building on the corner or the building that's one in?
I have the picture here
The
right
one
now.
that's one in?
Yeah.
Excuse me, could you just turn the plans so that we can see it?
Okay.
The other way, sure.
The plans upside these, plans upside
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
This is the photograph of the building that right now has one peak. The corner is looks like this on this side, and then the other corner is Paul's Pizza. I have some 3D development drawings that I can have small copies as well. So we are proposing to have the potential to divide it into smaller stores so that, in case people don't want such a large store, this place will not stand empty. And here on these lines are the potential divisions. Of course, if people want to rent the whole thing, we can, but if people want to divide it, I have the opportunity to divide it this way and this way. So in the front of the building, we will divide it into 3 sections, and each has their own doors to go in. And in the back, we have 2 smaller sections, and that we can rent it to either office space or studio or something that has less of a traffic. But in the front, we'll have smaller store. But we may be able to have 3 stores or maybe 2 stores. One small one, 2 big one, or one large one. So it really depends on who's going to come around and ask the owner, how to divide it. And the way to do it is I recess the middle portion of the building so that I can create 3 entrances. And then there are 3 peaks. And because the buildings on the left, on the right, they're all very symmetrical. They're all three elements. So I'm just kind of echoing the look. And right now the building, let me see, I have a 3D drawing of this place. It's easier to see. See, the building is like this, and then it has a peak in the middle, and then it's flat on either side. And the peak in the middle, if you stand on the other side of the street, you can actually see the peak. So this roof is actually a fake roof. This slope is a fake one to block this peak. So I'm trying to keep what it was already there, just add a little bit more. And also, we're going to do better materials for the surfacing, a stucco instead of right now vinyl siding, and nicer big glass windows. Because right now, you can see it's just one little door here, and then there's windows on either side. This will be correspond to the window on this side. This will correspond to the window on this side. But I'm opening in the middle section because I recess it. I'm going to create all glass in the middle. So it will look a little bit more inviting for a boutique store.
Steve, excuse me, is this the building north of the alleyway?
It's
No, this is the building that's one building in from the corner. There's a corner that has like a curve, it wraps around on Windmill, on the corner of Windmill and Hill. It's the next building up.
it's
It was
this.
before Paul's Pizza.
This is Paul's Pizza. This is the corner, and then the movie theater is right here.
Right, so it's just east of Paul's Pizza?
Yes,
Okay.
directly.
Because after Paul's, you have what, the bank, the old bank building?
Yeah,
and then-
there's a bank,
And then a
yeah.
parking lot,
Yeah.
and then the alleyway that goes behind the
Yeah.
movie theater.
If you look at this one, if this is the Paul's Pizza, this will be the 15 Hill Street, and that would be the corner building. This is the corner. This is my project. This is Paul's Pizza. Paul's Pizza is not as deep. It's very shallow, and then there's all parking in the back. I think this might be easier for you to see. You good?
I'm very familiar with it, I'm just trying
You
to
got it, okay.
orient myself properly. Thank you very much. So it's the shaded building on your site plan, the shaded area on your site plan?
Yes.
Any questions? No? The only thing that I can see is you may have, because the sidewalk goes down and I think the floor is level, and I can see from one of the rendering, it looks like does the sidewalk slope past where this
Yes,
big
if
gang
you-
entrance is going to be?
Yeah, if you see the elevation, it actually shows, I measured it. In the middle portion, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have a step up here, because this part is level with the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
So you can walk over here and just,
So that would make, if it's a joint entrance, I guess that would kind of make it handicap accessible, right, Kathy? Because you could actually get up onto
Right.
the recessed area from when it's level.
I mean, it sounds good, but we'd have to see the details, of course. But
Yes.
yes.
I got the idea from the store Intermix, the Intermix and the Radio Shack. This is exactly the same
Okay,
thing. On
okay.
one side is level, on the other side is
Okay.
a step up.
Okay.
And then I'm recessing a lot more than Intermix. Intermix, I think, is only recessed 3 feet or 4 feet. I'm recessing 6 feet. So there's a turning round space for the wheelchair as well.
Okay. So the store that would be accessible only by a step, though?
No.
No, because
step-
once you get up onto this recessed
That's
area,
where that's where
all
the
three
doors are?
all three stores would access off
I
that
see.
accessible
Good.
area.
Okay.
Because on one side is level.
Okay.
Yeah, on one side is level. On this side is level.
Mm-hmm.
You can just, it's the same, exactly the same height. I
Okay, so
measured
there
it.
would be a ramp from there?
No, the porch area, I call
Okay.
this porch area. The porch area is flat.
Okay.
But the street gonna go down. So on this side, you step up.
Okay, and then, so this is recessed then, this area? Okay, so that's the part I didn't get. Gotcha. All right. And then what about in the back? If you're going to have uses in the back, how are you going to?
In the back, we are proposing, right now, there's just like a fence here. We are proposing to enclose the transformer. There is a transformer here. And all the neighborhood's electrical meters are on this wall. And right now, it's a one big fence, and we're trying to gonna separate this fence from the dumpster. Right now the dumpster is also inside the fence.
Okay.
Inside the fence with the electrical stuff. So we're gonna enclose the electrical stuff, the transformer and the meters, and then we're gonna create a enclosure for just the dumpster itself.
Okay.
And the entrance to the back is right here. And then I think we will be able to provide windows for this room as well. I talked to Fire Marshal about the fire-rated windows and, the walls and all that. We got that all resolved. And the building is like this shape. So actually, on this side, we can actually create clear story windows so that the stores will be more illuminated, and hopefully it will be more inviting for potential renters, tenants.
And so you're asking for it to be subdivided into 3 spaces?
Actually,
Potentially just one?
actually, it's like 5 spaces, potentially 5 spaces, but 3 spaces for now.
Okay. So it looks like if you divide the front into 3, you'd stop back where these office yoga spaces are?
Yeah, this will definitely stop right here. It will definitely stop here. You have 2 small spaces that.
And you have a common hallway
Yes, for
for
people to.
restrooms, and you have a
Yeah.
common
Common lunchroom.
lunchroom, and also one common exit. My question was, do they need more than one exit?
I already discussed with Fire Marshal, and he's fine with this.
With one, okay.
You mean the small rooms, or in the front? You definitely have 2 exits, and in the small one, based on the square footage, the distance, and the number of occupancy, it's okay to have just one.
And we're allowed 5
Yeah, the only thing that I
uses
yeah,
on this
I
lot?
forgot what the number is. I need to.
I think the minimum use is rather small, Steve. It's like
Yeah.
800 square
Oh, really?
feet or something, yeah.
It's 800 square feet, yeah.
So this potential store is 1,200. Each of them is about 1,200. This is 1,500. This is 1,200. This is 1,500. And in the back, this room is 900.
968 and
Yeah, the other one is
927.
927. So I asked the building inspector, Mr. Foster, to look over from his angle as well.
Right.
And as
So
far as,
basically, they have to make an application, right?
yeah, I can provide some comments, some suggestions of what to include on the plans to make it go, to be quicker.
Okay.
Some questions that I had, but they're details.
Okay.
I don't know how we deal with parking. I guess if it was previously a retail use, then you're grandfathered for parking, I guess, and I have to check on that. There's not a additional parking space that's required for more than one use. It's just by square footage.
Correct.
So it's probably grandfathered there, but we'd have to look at that.
And you saw there's an EAF submitted too?
I didn't. I will look at that.
What is that?
Environmental assessment form. I don't know if it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
I don't know if it's
do you have it
necessary.
in the package?
The short form, I
You
already
did? You did it? Okay.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
it already.
Okay.
So I'll give you mine later if you don't
Okay.
have it.
Yep. Thanks.
You
So
may as
you
well
did
take a look
submit
at
an
that.
application then?
I submitted application, but it didn't really formally, how I say, they suggest that I should do a
Okay.
pre-hearing conference.
I
So
see.
and hear your comments and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
And your email on here someplace? Well, I would go through Jackie anyway, Jackie Ellen. I will
The email,
send
her email is on the EAF.
Okay. And it's on your plans, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the parking, I have actually document that they're a grandfather.
Okay.
I can send it to Jackie, and then she can forward to you.
Okay, great.
Then you don't have to
Okay,
dig for
perfect.
it.
Thank you.
Well, if you make it part of the application, then it'll be
Yeah.
in the file.
Oh, okay. I should
Just
just
include
put it
everything you have in the
Yeah.
application, and then
Okay.
as soon as you apply, it'll be put on the next calendar.
Okay.
which
okay.
at this point is March 6th.
March 6th?
February 27th for the
And we have a
work
work
session, and
session,
then
yeah.
March 6th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next one is March 6th?
Yeah, because there's no meeting next month.
No meeting next month.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you take a look at that in the meantime anyway? So,
Yeah, I can,
you know,
yeah,
maybe accelerate it when it does come up to.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, great. We don't have to adjourn that, correct, Bo?
Correct.
And we already voted for moving the meeting to March 6th.
We just have to vote to cancel, actually, right?
Well, no,
To-
yeah, yes,
vote to
cancel
cancel the work session
and
and-
just to be inclusive, canceling the meeting for February.
13th.
No, the regular meeting was February 6th?
6th.
Right.
Cancel the meeting for February 6th and adjourn it to
Okay.
March.
Do I have a motion to cancel the meeting on February 6th and adjourn it to March 6th? Seconded? And aye. All in favor?
And then the work
Aye.
session's automatic?
Okay, I think that's done.
Okay.
And then we're going to hold off on the minute approvals. We can't do December anyway, right? So we may as well just hold off until we have more people sitting here, I think.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I think we'd get more people since we have it. Okay, so then our future meetings are February 27th for the work session and March 6th for the public hearing. So if there's nothing else, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second? All in favor? Aye.